Chosen one, listen, not with your ears but with your spirit, for this message is not meant for the many but for the few. It is not designed to entertain the crowd, nor to soothe the minds of the curious. This is a message sent from heaven, delivered into your hands with urgency because the hour has come. You have been marked not by men but by God himself, long before you knew your name, long before the foundations of this world were set in place. You are not reading these words by chance. You are standing on sacred ground at the intersection between time and eternity, and the voice of the Spirit is calling you forth. We have entered into a divine moment that cannot be measured by calendars or clocks. The final days of June are not ordinary days, they are a threshold. Heaven is moving. A shift is unfolding. The world will not understand it, but your soul has already felt it. This shift will not come with fanfare or headlines, but with a holy weight pressing on the spirits of the awakened. You, chosen one, have been prepared in silence for such a time as this. While others ran after noise, you were hidden in the quiet. While others sought applause, you endured affliction. And while the world praised strength, God was perfecting obedience in you. Everything that felt like delay was really divine design. And now the preparation ends, and the positioning begins. Do not ignore what you have sensed. That inner pull, that spiritual pressure, that unshakable awareness that you were made for more, it is not your imagination. It is the activation of destiny. The King of Heaven has called your name in the courts of eternity, and now he calls you to rise. You are not a spectator in this hour. You are not a passive observer. You have been summoned into divine responsibility, into heavenly alignment, into leadership, birthed not from ambition but from obedience. This world is drowning in distractions, but you were not created to blend in. You were born to break through. Heaven does not choose the loud, nor the liked, nor the lovely. It chooses the loyal. The ones who bow in the quiet, who remain faithful in the dark, who say yes when no one else is listening. That is why you were tested. That is why you were broken and rebuilt, not in public but in the unseen places. And now heaven declares enough hiding. The mantle is yours. The hour is now. The earth is groaning, the heavens are roaring, and the Spirit is searching for vessels that will carry the weight of glory with humility and fire. You are that vessel. You are the answer to someone's silent prayer. You are the light sent into a world that is dimming fast. So rise, chosen one, not with fear but with holy fire, not with pride but with purpose. Everything in your life has led here. Everything you have suffered was for this. You are not here to survive this shift. You are here to lead through it. This is your divine call, and heaven is watching for your response. If this word ignited something in your spirit, don't stay silent. Comment below what spoke to you, or simply write 77, I receive it. Your response is not just for you, it's a sign to heaven that you're ready to rise. Let the fire in you speak. You have felt it, haven't you? The restlessness, the sudden weight that descends upon you in quiet moments, the way your spirit stirs in the night, waking you without warning, without reason. You may have tried to dismiss it, to explain it away as anxiety, overthinking, or fatigue, but your soul knows better. What you are experiencing is not confusion. It is not chaos. It is activation. It is the Spirit of God awakening something ancient, something eternal, something buried deep within you that is now rising to the surface because the time has come. As C.S. Lewis profoundly wrote in The Weight of Glory, there are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal. You, chosen one, are no mere mortal. Your eternal significance is stirring, aligning you with a divine purpose that transcends the ordinary. The pressure you feel is holy. It is not meant to crush you, but to call you. The emotional waves, the inexplicable urges to withdraw, the sudden bursts of prayer, the divine hunger for stillness, these are not symptoms of imbalance. They are signs of alignment. Heaven is tuning your spirit to a new frequency, and that tuning often feels like tension. You are being stretched because your capacity is being increased. God is enlarging your inner foundation to carry the assignment that is now upon you. And though it may feel uncomfortable, it is sacred. Do not resist the stirring. It is your confirmation that destiny is near. You have noticed patterns, numbers repeating, symbols appearing, faces fading from your life without warning. Your tolerance for empty conversations, superficial noise, and shallow living is disappearing. These are not coincidences. These are the fingerprints of God rearranging your environment to prepare you for what's next. When heaven begins to speak, it often begins by removing what seems like isolation is actually insulation. God is pulling you back so he can pour into you without interference. He is protecting the purity of the message you carry. This is why you've been called to silence, why your phone feels heavy, why social media feels hollow, why even familiar voices now feel distant. It is not rejection, it is refinement. God is not punishing you, he is preparing you. He is shielding you from spiritual pollution, so that when the time comes to speak, your voice will carry weight, truth, and light. Do not grieve what is leaving. Let it go. The shift is already in motion, and what's ahead requires clarity, not clutter. Chosen one, your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a gift. It is your spiritual antenna, your divine compass, your early warning system. Others may walk blindly into chaos, but not you. You feel the tremors before the quake. You sense the storm before the skies darken. You receive the whisper before the trumpet sounds. Trust what you feel in the spirit. Even when your mind cannot understand it, your spirit knows. Your discernment is a weapon, and heaven is sharpening it for this next battle. Do not silence what God is stirring. Do not hide what he is revealing. The signs are not just for wonder, they are for preparation. Your dreams, your instincts, your inner unease, all of it is heaven speaking in code to your soul. Pay attention. Stay alert. Heaven speaks most clearly to those who listen most quietly. The activation has begun, and your spirit is rising to meet its calling. This month is not ordinary. June has always carried a spiritual frequency that most overlook, but the heavens remember what man forgets. The final days of June mark a prophetic intersection, a sacred window opening again, and you, yes, you are standing at its threshold. What began long ago is now returning, not in repetition, but in fulfillment. As C.S. Lewis wrote in Mere Christianity, "It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg." We are like eggs at present, and you cannot go on indefinitely being just an ordinary decent egg. We must be hatched or go bad. You, chosen one, are hatching in this prophetic June, breaking free from the shell of the past to soar into the divine purpose that awaits you. June of 1950 was not just a date in history. It was a moment in the divine timeline when heaven moved beneath the surface, away from the eyes of the distracted world. The world saw war, division, and upheaval, but in the hidden places God was planting seeds, assignments, mantles, movements that would not fully bloom until now, and now the same current is flowing again. The atmosphere feels strange for a reason. You have felt it in your bones, in your breath, in your dreams. There is a pressure, a sense of divine weight pressing down as though time itself is trembling. That's because you are standing in the echo of a sacred moment. The spirit that hovered in 1950, the spirit that stirred prophets and shifted nations is hovering again, but this time the mantle is falling on you. What was veiled then is being revealed now. What was whispered in secret is now being declared in the open. The scroll has been unsealed, and your name is written within it. You are not a spectator in this revival. You are a vessel. The divine cycle is not returning to honor the past, but to activate the present. This is not nostalgia. It is continuation. You are not separate from what God began in generations past. You are the bridge. You are the fulfillment. You were born to carry what they carried, to finish what they started. Their prayers are colliding with your purpose. Their tears are watering your calling. You have inherited a weight of glory that must now be revealed through obedience, through fire, through surrender. The world is still blind, just as it was then. People chase noise. They worship the visible, but heaven is still speaking to the hidden ones, to the ones who listen beneath the surface, who discern beneath the headlines. You chosen one are among them. You don't need to shout to be seen. God already saves you. You don't need to prove anything to man. Heaven has already appointed you. In the quiet of this month, a spiritual alignment is taking place, and your life is part of it. Your position, your preparation, your purity, none of it has been wasted. The fullness of time is near, and the weight you've carried in silence will soon be your authority in public. Do not miss this moment. The end of June is not just the end of a month. It is the beginning of a shift. A prophetic gate is opening, and those who are ready will walk through it with power. You've waited, you've wondered, you've endured. Now heaven is saying the season of fulfillment has come. What was sown in 1950 is being harvested now. The spirit that moved then is moving again. And this time it's moving through you. Chosen one, understand this truth. We have entered a season of separation, not a gentle drifting apart, but a holy tearing. God is no longer tolerating mixtures. What has been hidden is being exposed. What has been tolerated is being removed. The hour is too critical, the assignment too sacred to allow counterfeit voices to remain in the path of the chosen. And so heaven is shaking the spiritual landscape. Leaders once praised are falling. Platforms built on pride are crumbling. Those who wore the title of prophet but served their own egos are being silenced, not by man but by divine judgment. As C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, the devil, the proud spirit, cannot endure to be mocked. The false voices that once held sway are now mocked by heaven's truth, falling before the divine cleansing that prepares the way for your rise. This is not chaos. It is cleansing. It is the hand of God sweeping through his house with fire in his breath and justice in his eyes. You may feel the tremors as systems unravel, as public figures fall, as once trusted voices are stripped bare. Do not be shaken. Do not mourn the collapse of what was never consecrated. This is not destruction, it is divine refinement. God is not just removing the fake, he is revealing the faithful, and in that revealing your name is being called. You have wondered why certain people vanished from your life without explanation. Why once strong connections dissolved. Why some you trusted turned cold or walked away. Heaven says that was not rejection. That was protection. God severed those ties because they could not walk with you into what he is now releasing. Their presence would have diluted your purity. Their influence would have distorted your focus. And your assignment is too vital to be surrounded by noise, pride, or manipulation. In this hour, God is raising up a remnant, hidden ones, who chose humility over hype, consecration over popularity, surrender over applause. You are among them. The time in the shadows was not punishment, it was preservation. While others fought for recognition, you chose obedience. While others built brands, you built altars. And now the fire of God is falling not on performance but on purity, not on charisma but on character. This is the time of unveiling. The veils are being lifted. The true will be seen for who they are, and the false will be stripped of every illusion. Do not envy the spotlight. It burns those who carry no oil. You chosen one have oil. You paid for it in silence, in tears, in wilderness trials. And now heaven is positioning you not to impress, but to lead, not to entertain, but to illuminate. The world doesn't need more voices, it needs truth. And God has preserved you for this very moment to be a voice of clarity in an age of confusion. So do not fear the shaking. Rejoice in it. Every shaking makes room for what is real to rise. The fall of the false is not your burden, it is your confirmation. You are stepping into a landscape cleared by fire, purified by truth, and ready for the ones God has called by name. You are not hidden anymore. Heaven is lifting the veil. Stay humble. Stay rooted. Stay ready. Your time has come. The storm is no longer coming, it is here. The world is shaking. Nations rage, economies tremble, leaders fall like broken idols. Fear is spreading like wildfire, devouring peace, replacing stability with confusion. But in the midst of this growing darkness, heaven is doing something unexpected. It is not hiding you, it is lifting you. While others lose direction, God is positioning you as a lighthouse, steady and unshaken, planted in the storm, not to survive it, but to guide others through it. You were never called to blend into the fog. You were born to pierce it. The peace you carry will become a shelter for many. The truth you embody will become a map for the lost. You are not being exalted for status. You are being established for purpose. People will come to you, some desperate, some skeptical, some broken by fear and looking for hope. Do not shrink back. You are not a last resort. You are a divine appointment. Your story, your scars, your steadfastness. These are not just personal testimonies. They are living proof that God still speaks, still saves, and still raises the humble to lead. The wisdom you carry is not academic, it is anointed. It was forged through fire, not taught in a classroom. Every lonely night, every unanswered prayer, every hidden act of faithfulness has built this foundation. And now, as others falter, you will stand, not by strength, but by surrender, not by title, but by trust. The storms that shook you were training you. The winds that threatened to break you were actually shaping you into an anchor. And now that the waves are rising, you are ready not to run, but to shine. You will not need to convince people of your authority. They will feel it. They will sense the peace you carry, the clarity in your eyes, the weight in your words. Because you have walked with God in private, He is now revealing you in public. This is not about fame, it is about function. You were made for this hour. You were prepared for this chaos. You are not just a refuge, you are a revelation. When people look at you, they will see the evidence that God is still present in a world unraveling. So do not be afraid of their fear. Do not be overwhelmed by their confusion. Your role is not to panic, it is to anchor. Speak only when heaven speaks. Move only when the Spirit moves. You are not responding to the storm. You are releasing the light. In a world drowning in darkness, you are proof that the light has not gone out. You are the lighthouse. You are the witness. You are the one they've been searching for in the storm, and you have been sent for such a time as this. This is not the time to be half awake. This is not the season to be casual with your calling. The Spirit of God is moving with intensity, and heaven is demanding your full surrender, not partial obedience, not delayed response, but complete, immediate alignment. Chosen one, what you carry is weighty, it is not common, it is not light, and it cannot be handled with carelessness. As C.S. Lewis wrote in The Screwtape Letters, courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. This moment demands your courage, chosen one, to surrender fully to heaven's call, aligning every aspect of your life with the divine purpose that awaits. You are not preparing for comfort, you are preparing for collision. The mantle you bear will collide with darkness, with deception, with entire systems of control. And for that you must be fortified in spirit, anchored in truth and disciplined in your daily devotion. God is calling you deeper, not wider, not louder, deeper, into a place where silence becomes sanctuary, where prayer becomes breath, where consecration becomes lifestyle. You cannot carry this oil with a contaminated vessel. You cannot walk in divine authority while entertaining spiritual compromise. There is no room for distraction anymore, not in your mind, not in your emotions, not in your surroundings. The next move of God will flow through clean hands, clear hearts, and focused minds. If you want to carry His fire, you must be willing to protect the altar of your life from anything that tries to defile it. This is the season of sacred discipline. Wake early, pray fervently, fast consistently, Guard your eyes, guard your ears, guard your thoughts. What once seemed harmless now carries weight because every influence that touches you either sharpens your spirit or drains your strength. You must choose. You are not being called to survive this season. You are being called to lead in it. And leaders must live differently. They must burn when others grow cold. They must rise when others collapse. Your spiritual edge is your greatest weapon now. Keep it sharp and understand, this preparation is not just spiritual, it is physical, emotional, mental. Every part of you must come under divine discipline. Eat for strength, not for indulgence. Rest with intention. Speak with clarity. Move with purpose. You are entering days that will stretch the very core of who you are. You will not have time to get ready. Once the door opens, you must already be prepared. Heaven will not wait for your comfort. It is moving. Now, chosen one, your obedience in the secret place is creating momentum in the unseen realm. Do not trade your anointing for attention. Do not sacrifice your future for temporary pleasure. What is coming requires maturity. You must grow quickly. You must leave behind childish things. God is not looking for the popular, He is calling the purified. He is not blessing performance, He is backing purity. You were not set apart to live average. You were not marked to move with the crowd. Your name was written on heaven's scroll. Long before this generation saw your face, you are rising into an assignment that demands everything, and heaven has already given you everything you need. But you must remain ready. You must remain holy. The weight of glory will not rest on the unprepared. It will pass over the distracted. But to the faithful, to the disciplined, to the consecrated, He will pour out fire that cannot be quenched. Prepare now. The doors are already creaking open. When they swing wide, there will be no time to adjust. You must walk through already burning, already focused, already filled. This is your moment of final preparation. Make every minute count. The rise that is coming upon you is not for display, and it is not for ego. It is for impact. Heaven is not promoting popularity. It is establishing purpose. Chosen one, the influence that is about to increase around your life is a mantle, not a spotlight. You are being positioned for visibility, not so that you may be seen, but so that God may be revealed. This next season will carry tangible favor. Doors will open, platforms will be offered, and people will begin to take notice. But do not mistake visibility for validation. Your validation already came when God called your name in secret. The rise is real, but it is sacred, and it is weighty. The authority being placed upon your life is not the result of striving, branding, or networking. It is the reward of obedience. God is lifting you because you were faithful when no one saw. You remained pure when compromise whispered. You remained steady when storms hit. And now, heaven is backing your voice because you chose His will over your own. The oil on your life comes from the crushing. The wisdom in your mouth comes from the wilderness. You did not skip steps. You survived the fire. And because of that, you are now qualified to carry weight others cannot. You will notice people begin to seek your guidance. Some will come confused, others broken, and some simply curious. Don't let their questions intimidate you. They are being drawn not to your personality but to the light you carry. You are becoming a beacon, a spiritual landmark in the fog of this generation. God is establishing your name, not to build a platform but to fulfill a purpose. Do not chase the attention, chase the assignment. The rise will come naturally when obedience is your pursuit. And remember this: the greater your influence, the deeper your consecration must be. Do not compromise your anointing to please the crowd. Your clarity comes from communion. Your authority comes from intimacy. Your power flows from purity. You cannot afford to be polluted by comparison or distracted by applause. The same God who is raising you can also hide you again, if he must. Stay low in heart. Stay fierce in devotion. Stay clean in spirit. The rise is not just elevation, it is examination. How you steward this season will determine what multiplies next. The shift is already happening. The oil is already flowing. And the eyes of many are beginning to turn toward you, but heaven has been watching all along. God is not just lifting you up, he is rooting you deeply. What is being built in, you cannot be shaken by trends, critics, or storms. Your obedience is anchoring your influence. Your surrender is securing your stability. And your devotion is setting the stage for what heaven is about to do through your life. You are not rising to impress. You are rising to illuminate. So walk boldly, speak with fire, lead with wisdom, and never forget why you were called. This is not about fame. This is about faithfulness. And your faithfulness has made room for glory. In this age of endless noise where voices compete and images flood the senses, you must understand the battlefield has shifted. The war is no longer fought only with swords or speeches. It is fought through screens, signals, and distractions, disguised as connection. Chosen one, you are being warned. The very tools meant to inform can become the very snares that entangle. The digital realm, though, invisible to the eye, is saturated with spiritual warfare, and unless you remain anchored, your clarity will be stolen before you even realize it. There is a storm moving through the networks, not made of wind or rain, but of confusion, seduction, false prophecy, and manipulated truth. It is engineered to scatter your focus, to dull your discernment, and to twist your vision until you forget the sound of God's voice. Do not underestimate its reach. You have already felt its effects: sudden mental fatigue, emotional heaviness, unexpected irritability, a pull to scroll endlessly but pray sparingly. These are not coincidences. They are spiritual symptoms of digital infiltration, and so the Spirit of God calls you now into separation, not isolation but consecration. Step back, pull away, guard the gates of your eyes and ears, as if they were the doorways to your purpose, because they are. Your clarity is too precious to risk, your discernment too vital to dilute. What you consume determines what you carry, and in this season you cannot afford to carry confusion. The chosen must be clear, the called must remain clean, and the consecrated must be quiet enough to hear the whisper that others miss. It is not fear that drives this separation. It is wisdom. You are not retreating. You are refining. You are making space for clarity to reign again. The world is saturated with empty noise, but the chosen one is called to carry a frequency that is different, heavenly, piercing, holy. You cannot hear that frequency when the volume of the world is turned all the way up. You must turn it down. You must unplug. You must listen again in silence, where the Spirit still speaks in fire and in breath. This is your divine instruction. Limit your exposure, protect your atmosphere, cleanse your space. The next wave of divine revelation will not be found in headlines, trending reels, or viral posts. It will come in the stillness, in the sanctuary, in the sacred pause where heaven breaks through. The noise may be louder, but the truth is deeper. And you, chosen one, are being trusted with depth. As the digital storms rage, many will drown in fear and misinformation. But you will not. You were built to stand while others fall. You were called to discern while others react. The Spirit of God is sharpening your sight, tuning your hearing, and anchoring your heart, so that no wave, no lie, no algorithm can shake what God has planted in you. So guard your clarity like a sword. Keep your peace like a crown. And walk through this storm, not distracted but discerning. You are not a follower of signals. You are a carrier of light. Look around, chosen one. The shadows are spreading. The foundations of the world are trembling and hearts are growing faint with fear. Confusion, clouds, reason, and many are wandering, disoriented, disillusioned, desperate. But in this thickening darkness, you are not merely called to survive. You are called to shine. You are not just a believer, you are a beacon. And your very life, your journey, your endurance, your obedience is becoming undeniable proof that the light of God still burns in this generation. The time for hiding has ended. The season of silence is over. God is not just whispering through Scripture, He is revealing His truth through the lives of His chosen. You are that revelation. You are living evidence that hope still triumphs over despair, that righteousness still carries power, that obedience still opens doors that no man can shut. You are not a theory, not a sermon, not a metaphor. You are the manifestation of what it means to walk with God when the world has turned away. Your scars speak, your survival speaks, your stance speaks. You may have questioned why your road has been so difficult, why the refining has been relentless. It is because heaven was preparing you not just to witness truth, but to embody it. The weight you carry is not in vain. The fire you endured has not been wasted. The tears that fell in secret have watered a testimony that will soon bear public fruit. God is using your life as a divine mirror. When others look at you, they will see Him. Not because you are perfect, but because you remained faithful in the process. You did not quit when it got quiet. You did not sell your soul for comfort. And now God is lifting you not as a performer, but as a light bearer. Your presence will break atmospheres. Your words will cut through deception. Your story will unlock healing. People won't need a sermon, they will need your truth. They will come not for entertainment, but for encounter. You are a walking confirmation that the Spirit still speaks, still heals, still delivers, still calls the humble to do holy things. In a world filled with noise and pretense, your purity will pierce the veil. Your authenticity will be the sign. You are the voice they didn't know they were waiting to hear. So walk in the fullness of who you are. Do not dim your fire to comfort the cold. Do not hide your light to protect fragile pride. You are not called to fit in. You are called to lead out. You were not preserved to blend. You were preserved to blaze. The same fire that tried to consume you is now the light that guides others home. And your life surrendered, consecrated, bold, will be the evidence that God never stopped moving. The world doesn't just need preachers. It needs proof. And chosen one, that proof is you. You felt it deep within, a stirring that refuses to be silenced. It wakes you in the night. It unsettles you in the stillness. It whispers in the quiet and roars in the moments you try to ignore it. This is not emotional instability. This is not restlessness born of fear. No, this is divine disruption. This is the alarm clock of heaven ringing over your destiny, and it will not stop until you rise. Chosen one, God is shaking the dust off your calling. He is awakening that which has slept too long. This season is not about comfort. It is about confrontation. You are being called out of the shadows of potential into the light of purpose. The trembling inside of you is not weakness. It is your soul stretching to fit the assignment it was born to carry. You are not losing peace. You are gaining urgency. You are not falling apart. You are breaking open. The questions you've been asking, why now? Why me? Why this path, are echoes of your spirit, recognizing that destiny is near. Every delay was design. Every silence was sanctification. Every closed door was a redirection toward what was always yours. And now, the divine timing has arrived. God is not asking you to understand it. He is asking you to move with it. The season of hesitation is over. The season of readiness has come. Your discomfort is the signal. Your emotional waves are contractions, evidence that something holy is being birthed through you. Do not numb the stirring. Do not dismiss the tension. Lean into it. Let it shape you. Let it show you what no comfort ever could. The same fire that disrupted your sleep is the fire that will ignite your steps. You are not being disturbed. You are being delivered. From passivity, from fear, from everything that once caged your greatness. This is your moment to rise beyond what you thought you could be. You are not the version of yourself that settled to fit in. You are the version heaven designed to lead, to shake foundations, to carry answers others have been praying for. Your story is not ordinary because your call is not small. The stirring in your belly is not emotional, it is eternal. It is legacy waking up. It is heaven tapping your shoulder and saying, now. So don't silence it. Don't explain it away. Don't delay obedience another day. The shaking inside you is sacred. It's not the end of your peace, it's the beginning of your power. You are not being awakened just for yourself. You are being awakened for a generation that needs what you carry. Let the stirring become your signal. Let the fire become your fuel. Heaven is ringing the alarm, and it has your name on it. What the world calls collapse, heaven calls cleansing. What many perceive as chaos, the Spirit identifies as justice. Chosen one, do not be deceived by appearances. This is the hour of divine exposure. The stage is shifting, and the spotlight is no longer a platform for pride. The days of empty charisma and counterfeit callings are coming to an end. God is tearing down what man built without him. Leaders who wore titles but lacked truth are being removed. Voices that once echoed loudly but carried no oil are being silenced. And it is not man doing the tearing, it is the hand of God. You are witnessing a holy reckoning. The spiritual climate is changing. The era of false prophets, self-appointed influencers and performers in pulpits is drawing to a close. The shaking is not political. It is prophetic. The kingdom of heaven is advancing, and it will no longer permit polluted leadership to poison the flock. God is cleansing his altar. He is reclaiming his house. And in that process, those who walked in secret faithfulness are being summoned to the front. Chosen one, this is your moment. You may have been overlooked, dismissed, misunderstood. You may have watched others rise while you remained hidden. But it was not delay, it was preservation. God kept you in the shadows to protect your oil. While others chased crowds, you chased his presence. While others performed, you prayed. And now heaven is shifting the weight of authority. The fall of the false is the rise of the faithful. Do not mourn what is being removed. Do not cling to voices that heaven has rejected. When leaders fall, it is not a time to doubt. It's a time to discern. The light is exposing what was always rotting beneath the surface. And in that unveiling, God is elevating the pure, the consecrated, the truly called, not the loudest, not the trendiest, but the ones who carry truth like fire in their bones and humility etched into their walk. You are part of that remnant. You were refined in silence, so you could speak with authority. You were stripped of pride, so you could lead with purity. Your journey has been costly, but now your voice will carry weight that cannot be faked. Heaven is establishing new leadership, and you are among those being commissioned, not by the approval of men, but by the ordination of the Spirit. So rise not with arrogance, but with assurance, not to replace the fallen, but to fulfill what they could not. This is not about power, it's about purity. This is not about fame, it's about faithfulness. Let the old systems fall. Let the masks shatter. Let the true ones emerge. For God is rebuilding with clean hands, with surrendered hearts, and with leaders like you who never needed the spotlight to carry the weight of glory. There is a global shaking underway, not just in the earth, but in the realms of power, provision, and influence. And what appears to be economic instability in the natural is in truth a divine redistribution. God is shifting resources, authority, and dominion, not based on titles, but on trust, not based on influence, but on integrity. This is not a random trend. This is a sacred transfer. And chosen one, you are not just witnessing it, you are part of it. Heaven is testing hearts in this hour. The question is not will you receive, but can you be trusted? Wealth is not the reward, it is the responsibility. Power is not the prize, it is the proving ground. God is not simply pouring out blessings, He is placing tools into the hands of those who will steward them for kingdom purposes. The ones who will build altars before they build empires. The ones who will carry glory, not greed. The ones who will use what they receive not to lift themselves but to lift others. You are being positioned, not for comfort but for commission. Doors will open that you did not knock on. Opportunities will find you because heaven is assigning resources to your calling. But understand this, with every open door comes a test. The greater the influence, the greater the requirement of purity. You must guard your heart with greater intensity. The enemy will not tempt you with failure, he will tempt you with success. He will try to seduce you into thinking the blessing is yours to control rather than to carry. Chosen one, prepare now. Let God refine your motives. Let him strip away every trace of pride, fear, and self-exaltation. If your heart is not anchored in obedience, what was meant to elevate you will consume you. But if you remain rooted in humility, the wealth and power that are coming will only amplify your assignment. You will feed the hungry, clothe the forgotten, fund the mission, and build what generations before you only dreamed of. This is not prosperity for vanity. It is provision for victory. God is resourcing the righteous. He is answering prayers through people, and you are one of them. You are being transformed into a vessel of holy impact, where your hands will hold not just currency but covenant. You will carry influence, but it will come with a mantle. It will demand wisdom, restraint, discernment, and relentless obedience. Do not fear the rise. Do not shy away from the platform, but do not let the blessing blind you. Keep your eyes on the throne, not the throne room. Keep your spirit low, even as your calling ascends. The shift is happening. The transfer is underway, and God has chosen you to carry what others misused. So stand ready, stand clean, and stand open-handed. Chosen one. Heaven has been speaking to you more than you realize. Not always through thunder or signs in the skies, but often in the stillness of night, when your defenses are down and your spirit is open. The visions, the dreams, the sudden awakenings in the middle of the night, they are not random. They are alerts, holy downloads, spiritual briefings from the throne of God delivered directly to your soul. What the world calls imagination, heaven calls revelation. There is a reason your sleep has felt heavy, your nights restless, your dreams vivid. You are being positioned as a watchman, one who sees in the spirit what others cannot. God is showing you glimpses of what is coming, glimpses of your assignment, and even glimpses of danger, so that you may intercede, prepare, and act. This is a sacred responsibility. You are not just dreaming, you are receiving. Your sleep is no longer simply for rest. It is a battleground, a classroom, a sanctuary of divine communication. Do not dismiss what you've seen. Do not explain it away. Write it down. Pray it through. Ask for interpretation, not explanation. God is speaking in symbols, in patterns, in scenes that bypass your intellect and go straight to your spirit. He knows how to reach you when the noise of the day has faded and your soul is still. And you, chosen one, have been found trustworthy enough to receive what others ignore. These night visions are not for your entertainment. They are for your alignment. Some are warnings. Others are instructions. And some are confirmations of what your spirit already sensed, but your mind could not articulate. Take them seriously. Steward them with fear and trembling. For what is revealed in the night is often what must be acted upon in the light. You are not the only one being awakened like this. There are others scattered across nations receiving similar impressions, similar dreams, similar visitations. You are part of a network of spiritual watchmen appointed by God for this hour to discern what is coming and to stand in the gap before it arrives. Do not isolate. Seek counsel. Share only with those who walk in purity and carry the weight of heaven's fear. Protect what you receive, but do not bury it. Revelation kept in secrecy when it was meant to be shared can become rebellion. Be wise. Be bold. Be led by the Spirit. You've asked for confirmation. This is it. The dreams are not coincidental. The patterns are not accidental. The night is thin with eternity, and you are being trained in the shadows for influence in the daylight. God is awakening you not only for yourself, but for those whose lives will be changed by your obedience. So listen closely. Wake when He calls. Record what He shows you. And guard the night watches with the reverence of one who understands that heaven has chosen you as a messenger in the dark. You once believed there was a line between your daily work and your divine assignment. You tried to separate the sacred from the secular, the calling from the career, the anointing from the activity. But now, chosen one, heaven is dismantling that illusion. What you thought were two paths are colliding into one. The veil is being torn between your profession and your purpose, and God is orchestrating a convergence that will redefine how you live, lead, and labor. You are stepping into a season where your job is no longer just provision, it is platform. Where your business is no longer just business, it is ministry. Where the place you walk into daily becomes the very altar where God releases His glory through you. You are not being asked to quit and run into ministry. You are being called to recognize that you are ministry everywhere. Your feet tread everywhere. Your words land everywhere. Your presence enters. You don't carry a title. You carry a mantle. Heaven is activating divine influence in places you thought were natural. Your wisdom in meetings. Your discernment in decisions. Your ability to see beyond what others can. These are not personality traits. They are spiritual gifts in disguise. And now they are being unveiled for what they are: tools of divine impact. You've wondered why you feel out of place in systems others thrive in. It's because you weren't sent to blend in. You were sent to shift the culture. Do not underestimate the assignments hidden within your routine. God is placing people in your path who carry questions only your spirit can answer. You will speak light without using religious language. You will release healing in boardrooms and classrooms, in studios and offices. The power you carry is not confined to a pulpit. It is portable. It is transferable. It is missional. And now is the time to embrace the fullness of that identity. This collision is holy, and it is strategic. God is raising up ambassadors in every realm: economy, education, medicine, art, science, politics, not to conform to the system, but to infiltrate it with truth. You are one of them. You have been chosen to carry fire into structures that are cold. You are a living intersection of sacred and practical, heavenly and human, prophetic and professional. You were not made to escape the world. You were made to illuminate it from within. So don't compartmentalize your calling. Don't leave your anointing at the door when you go to work. The mantle is with you, and the Spirit will speak through you. Watch as doors open. Watch as hearts soften. Watch as divine strategy flows through your thoughts. This is not the blending of two identities. It is the revelation of your truest self. The one who was always meant to carry heaven into earth's most unsuspecting places. You are not stepping into a job. You are stepping into destiny. And every step you take is guided by the one who authored your purpose before time began. This is your commissioning. Walk boldly, shine freely, lead humbly. Destiny has arrived, and you are ready.